Hello, this is Wendie Pett with Visibly Fit, and I have my dear friend Barb with me on this interview, this call, and I'm so excited to have her because she wants to share her testimony with you, and I believe it will speak with you. So Barb, thanks so much for taking the time. I know, gosh, you did my program, it's been a year ago now, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a year. And let's talk a little bit about how you were feeling prior to the Visibly Fit 7-week program. How were you feeling when we first had our initial conversation?
Well, I was sick and tired of not fitting to pants, going up the next size. And I was like, can I ever be thinner again? Just even to fit, like I was at a size 14. It's like even to fit back into a size 10, I was going to be happy. And I just was like, I felt like I was always kind of battling. I wasn't eating terrible. I wasn't necessarily eating large portions, but nothing was ever changing. And I didn't really go continuous dieting. But when we talked, I mean, we'd been in touch for a lot of times, and I've been on your email list for many, many years.
And we were in India together. We've been friends for a long time.
Yeah. So it's been a long time. And each time was kind of like a reminder, oh, is this the time? Is this the time I should do this? Get on one of your programs. And it was before summer, and we had talked, and I was like ready to commit, and then went, no, it's
maybe fall. We'll go fall.
We'll go fall. Summer's too much fun with barbecues and beer. So I was like,
that's honest.
But I made a commitment to you and started to pay right away. And the other thing is when I saw the investment, I was like, ooh, in my mind, before you told me, I was like kind of ready with a number in my mind, and it was more than that. And I went, oh, well, I don't know about that. And it wasn't that I didn't have the money necessarily. It was just, I just never spent that much money on myself at one time.
Right.
Maybe even buying some clothes, but never even that many clothes. It was just sort of like, I just didn't feel, it scared me. It scared me.
I think you're not alone there, Barb, honestly. I think that investing in yourself doesn't necessarily come naturally for women because we are investing in others, right? And if it were that amount for your husband or for your daughter, you'd be like, yeah, sure, no problem. But
exactly.
to do that for yourself, that's like a shift in mindset. And so I knew it took a little, talking you off the cliff, so to speak. But once you did it, I mean, I was just so proud of you, and I'm so proud of all the accomplishments that you've made so far. But how did you feel after you jumped in and then started the program? Like, what was the first aha kind of moment?
I think it was saying, I can do this, and it's going to make a difference. I'm going to be healthier, because I really did it more to be healthier. I mean, the weight, I would love to have lost the weight, but it was more being healthier. I'm an older mom. My daughter's just started university, and I'm 67 years old, not getting younger.
She doesn't look like it, does she? Doesn't you watching? Oh my goodness. No.
And I was like, I want to be around for a really long time, because I just feel mentally, I feel like I'm in my mid 40s, but, and I'm like, well, let's get my body back to where it can be really as healthy as possible. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I mean, day one, kind of making that shift, it was like, I was amazed that I totally was able to just do your program right on and never cheat. Like, just, it never occurred to me. It was just like, I was able to just kind of draw that line in the sand and go for it. And it felt so good.
And having that accountability really helps too, right?
Yes.
In case you do decide to get off the.
That's right. I was keeping in touch with you all the time, each week, and and on the program, and having a support group there of other people that were doing the same thing, and hearing their stories and how they were doing, and was great.
And you started bringing in more exercise too, Barb. Which is a big, big thing. And before we got on this call, you were sharing about how you were at the campus where your daughter's going to school, and how you were just running up some stairs, and you're like, wow, normally that would have been really tough for me. So talk about a little bit about the exercise, and then we'll talk about what you accomplished in that just short 7-week period.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the exercise is important too, because it's not just the weight. It's like you want to tone, you want to be fit, you want to have the, you know, the muscle tone to go with everything. And just doing your 7x11s and being religious with those. And then really, like, honestly, I was so surprised when I went up those stairs. I was like, oh my gosh, wow, look at this. Ooh, I felt like a feather running up the stairs.
That's a great analogy. I love that. Light as a feather. That's good. And so all that together with the nutrition piece and the exercise, and then we have mindset and spiritual component as well. But within that 7 weeks, you released, what was it, 25 pounds and how many inches? About
17 to 18.
17, 18 inches. So that's just in that 49 days, 7 weeks that you accomplished that. And that's so exciting. And now it's been a year later and you still kept that weight off. You're at what, 30 pounds? And you're at goal?
A little over 30 pounds that I've lost now.
Yeah.
And I dropped from a 14 to a size 8 in my pants.
Awesome. I love that.
Like I was able to pull out some classic clothes out of my wardrobe that I hadn't gotten rid of. I don't know if any of the other ladies do that. Where you think, oh, maybe someday I'll fit into this.
With anticipation. There you go.
Yes.
I love it.
And when they fit, and some were actually too big. And like it was just amazing. And I just feel so much better. I mean, and healthier. I mean, that's the main thing.
Yeah. And we were talking a little bit before this call too, about when you reach a certain age, people kind of tell you that, oh, you know what, it's just hormonal. You're going to be puffy. You're going to gain a little weight. Not a big deal. But it doesn't have to be that way, right?
No.
Yes.
And that's the other thing that amazed me, because I, see friends that I grew up with, and we're all kind of around the same age, and everybody's plumped up a whole lot based on the hormones and the menopause and all that. But that doesn't have to be. Like, it was just like everything, the foods and everything that I'd been eating, everything just like, it was all about diet and what I was eating and how I was eating. And it's not all a hormone thing. It doesn't own you. And it doesn't have to control your life and your weight.
It doesn't. And the way in which you do eat through the Visibly Fit program helps to balance out those hormones and get the inflammation out of your body. And so I'm just so excited for you, Barb. Like, seriously, I'm just giddy about what's going on in your life. And a year ago, you were working at a certain place, a radio station. And now, God is so good, right? Like it was preparing you for your next steps and your next calling. And so now you're about to start this new venture, and it's so exciting because now you can look back and go, wow, I see why a year ago I was really trying to get into great health. So I'd had the energy and the clarity of mind to do what you're doing now. So I'm so excited to hear that. So you're never too old. You're never too far gone, right?
No. I mean, everybody's saying, oh, like you should be, aren't you going to be retiring? And I'm like, no, I'm actually moving into 2 new positions and I'm ramping it up.
That's amazing.
And I feel great doing it. And I see that God's plan for my life back when I started the program with you, and it was just part of my whole life plan. And who knew? I mean, if somebody told me a year from back then that I would be getting 2 new jobs, I'd be like, yeah, you're crazy.
Well, now you have the energy, the stamina, the clarity of mind. You feel God confident, self-confident, all those things that play a big role. Now, and now you are planting seeds with others that are in your space, whether it's your family, your coworkers, about health and wellness. So you yourself are a Visibly Fit change agent just by doing you. And so with that said, how has the ripple effect happened? Have you seen that in your life?
I see a lot of, like even in my own family, they did not adopt all my lifestyle eating, but they started to slowly. But they were so proud of me, and we may have bumped into each other in the kitchen quite a lot as we were preparing different meals, but they were proud that I stuck by it. And when they saw the change, they now know that there is a diet and a lifestyle out there that they can adopt if they want to make a change themselves. And with other women that I've talked with, they were all like, oh my gosh, look at you. Like, how did you do that? And I always tell them, Wendy, and
Thank
Visibly
you.
Fit,
Well,
and give
you
them
do.
the website.
That's so good, Barbara. Thank you. But Barb, you do not look your age. And so, I mean, a lot of that is a big testimony within itself, just how you look. People are going to ask questions like, what do you do? And that gives you the opportunity to share about Visibly Fit, but also to share the gospel on some level,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And that has been great too, because God has been with me so strongly. One of my goals was to make sure I did devotionals every morning, because I wasn't doing that. And even though I'd be praying and talking to him, but it's been great because now I'm doing my devotionals more. I've just been more aware of God in my life and him speaking to me. And I think sometimes we get so busy and we just rush around so much that we don't hear him and we don't see him. And he's there trying to talk to us and trying to show us things, and we just don't see it. And now I'm a lot more aware, and it's been great.
That's so good.
And people are noticing that. And I'm proud to be able to say I'm a daughter of the King. And this is a lot of the difference it makes in my life.
I love that. I love that, Barb. Oh, that makes me the happiest right there. Okay, so if someone were watching this and they're struggling, they've been in your shoes a year ago, where you were a year ago, what would you say to that person that's watching to give them hope or encourage them? What's that one thing that you want to leave with them today?
Invest in yourself. You are worth it. You are loved, and it will change your life.
Wow, well said. And that's a wrap. and she is correct. You are worthy, and you are loved, and investing in yourself is investing in our Creator. So thank you so much, Barb, for taking the time. I love you dearly. I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see what all God's going to be doing in your life from here on out. So thanks so much for your time.
Okay, welcome. Bye.